Diane in Denmark here, and rah, 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 we made it to the end of another week. It's Friday, Big Friday, and I'm looking forward to getting the weekend started. Today I'm just doing a very quick 10-minute question and answer session, and I went to grab my timer and I realised my son has taken it because he was studying for exams, so he's taken it. Good, it's all good. Maybe I should get him his own one. My daughter's got her own timer. Anyway, I'm just going to try and keep an eye on the clock here because I don't want to be around for more than 10 minutes, and I don't want you to sit here for more than 10 minutes. As you know, with all my videos, I make them in real time and I want to show you the power of concentrating for 10 minutes, but I don't want you to get sucked into the internet, because too often we get, we maybe think, oh, how am I going to clean this, or how am I going to schedule this and organise that? And then we get sucked into all the planning and we lose the kind of doing part. So let's do something when we're finished this video today. Anyway, a few questions have come up with videos that I made this week. And also, for the observant of you, you will know, if you follow me on Instagram, you see my shiny sink pictures every day. You'll notice that I did not shine my sink last night and I didn't change the tea towels. Now, now this was because I was out last night at a clothes swap party, and I will be making a video about that. And we had such a fun, fantastic time with the girls, and I'll be making a video about that. But anyway, I was out last night and I went off to the clothes swap party, and it was a potluck thing, and it wasn't a potluck. Victoria had made curry and we brought all the accompaniments, and the family were fending for themselves. And I just want to stress to you, do not get caught up in the details, especially when you start something like, Miracle Morning or KonMari or the Flylady thing with Shining the Sink. Don't feel like you have to do it every single day or you're a failure. Yesterday, I left the kitchen, tidy. The family were cooking for themselves. They made sliders. And I don't fuss at them and say, oh, but you didn't shine the sink, and they left it clean. But the thing of shining the sink and setting out the fresh tea towels, that is my little ritual. So please don't get annoyed at your family if they leave, a cup or a spoon in the sink once you've shined it and gone to bed. That's not the point with the shining the sink thing. For me, I see it as a little kind of, gift to myself. And at the end of the day, after dinner, when I'm shining my sink, it's my little kind of ritual. It's a little moment, a little Zen moment, if you want to call it that, where it's just kind of, finishing off things. So don't worry if you're, if you've been going out to do something else or something comes up. It's not the end of the world. The shining the sink thing, and I've mentioned this before, you don't need to do it after dinner at night. You can, if it suits you better and you want to do it in the morning, if you're a kind of morning person and you like to have it all done in the morning, that's fine. Just suit a time of day that suits you. So anyway, that was about the sink. And I'll be making a thing about the clothes swap party. We had such good fun. Some questions came up about videos that I made this week. I told you about how we celebrate high school graduation here in Denmark, and there are quite a few questions on YouTube and on Instagram about the school system here and homeschooling. So I'll just quickly cover that. In Denmark, we have compulsory school for 10 years. Now, that doesn't mean it has to be in, a kind of public school. You can homeschool, but generally speaking, I've never heard of anybody in Denmark who homeschools. Of course, there will be a few people who do it, but generally speaking, and I'm using a very big brush here, schools in Denmark are of a very high standard, excellent standards, and I would say, putting myself out there, I would say something like 99% of kids go to a normal, bog standard Danish school. So the homeschooling thing, yes, Danish parents can do it, but I've never heard of anybody here actually doing it. Chime in if you're Danish and you do it. But generally speaking, people trust the school system here. It's very good, very high standard, and of course, as I mentioned in the video the other day, all our schooling is free. So kids, and just while I'm mentioning that about the school being free, also dentist, well, we have also a free healthcare system. You know, everybody pays into it, but you know, then it's free. And also dentist work for kids under 18 is free, because I was taking my daughter to the dentist this morning. So Danish kids have really good teeth, not like me growing up in Scotland. Danish kids have really good teeth because they get free dentistry, and the dentistry is really good here. So they're regularly in for checks. If they need corrective, you know, braces and stuff, that's kind of thrown at them. So that ties in with the free thing. But what I was going to say about the kids is Danish kids usually will go to creche or nursery. There are the nurseries and things are subsidised by the state, so most kids will go to creche or nursery. And then at the age of 6 or 7, they start school, like official school, learning to read. And I know for a lot of people coming from, I don't know, France or the States, and they come to Denmark and they think, wow, the kids, you know, the kids are not kind of pushed into reading at the age of 4, things like that. It's very much play-based at creche and kindergarten, and they only start, you know, mentally, you know, reading and writing when they get to the age of 6 or 7. So it's a very different system, but don't worry, they catch up. The Danes are a clever bunch. So they start school at the age of 6 or 7, and that's like real school, and then they're there for 10 years. And then after that, the majority of kids will go into high school, which I mentioned is also free. And then, and that will be 3 years of high school from when they're about 16, 17 years old. And then after high school, a lot of those will go on to, you know, further education like university. So anyway, I hope that covers it for education. And there's tons of stuff about education I could talk about. Also, it's very, the kids and the teachers kind of respect each other here, and the teachers use the kids use the teacher's first name. So they will say, you know, hi Jens, or god morgen, Katrine, you know, when they meet their teacher in the morning. It's not kind of Mr. and Mrs. like it was when I used to go to school in Scotland, and you know, a teacher came in, you know, would stand up and say, good morning, Mrs. Dannett, and then would sit down again. It's not like that at all here. And the other thing I mentioned was that this weekend, like last night was summer solstice, and tomorrow night is a huge thing in Denmark, Sankt Hans Aften, St. John's Eve, and I mentioned about the bonfires. Now, I don't know if you can see outside. Well, we've just had torrential rain here for about half an hour, but most of the bonfires this year have sadly been cancelled because we have a bonfire ban on at the moment. If you've also been following my videos or me on Instagram, you'll know that we have had a heat wave in Denmark since the beginning of May. And I know it's maybe not a heat wave in your eyes, wherever you are in the world, but for us, we've had temperatures of 25 to 30 Celsius, which, if I remember rightly, is anywhere in the kind of late 70s to late 80s Fahrenheit. Now, that is not normal heat for us, and we have had no rain for almost 2 months until this morning. So everything is bone dry. So what has happened is it's not safe to be lighting fireworks or doing the bonfires. So sadly, most of them have been cancelled. There will still be the celebrations tomorrow night. They will still have, you know, entertainers, and people will still be meeting and singing the midsummer hymn, Midsommervise, which I mentioned in the video on, I think it was Wednesday. So the celebrations will still be there. The bonfires won't be there, so there won't be many witches being sent back to Harzen in Germany. And what was the other thing? Oh, just hold on a wee minute. Yeah, and I'm going to wrap it up because I did want to keep it to the 10 minutes today, and my son is going off for an exam, my daughter's been to the dentist, and otherwise they will be at home the rest of the day. Just wanted to wish you a fantastic weekend. Remember, we're coming up for the weekend. If you are somebody who is mainly at home during the day, you know, you're not going off to work, you're not leaving the house every day to work. You know, if you are a stay-at-home mum, if you are a pensioner, you know, retired, health issues, you know, whatever it is, remember to treat the weekend as a weekend. You know, don't have all these projects running the whole time. If you've got things in your head, take a piece of paper, write it down and say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to deal with that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Similarly, if you are working outside the home, please take the weekend to, you know, you may want to spend maybe, you know, half an hour or an hour on Saturday just getting things back together again, maybe doing a 15-minute detailed clean, or maybe a 10-minute declutter. But remember, and take some time for you. You know, the weekend is our chance to recharge, and you don't need to be cleaning all weekend or working on projects all weekend. And if you do have some kind of project coming up, you know, maybe you want to do something with the family, you're going to be, I don't know, painting the summer house, or maybe you need some help to declutter your garage. You know, do yourself a favour and set yourself up for it. Make sure that you set an alarm so you get up at a reasonable time, that you get dressed to shoes, you know, eat your breakfast. Make sure that you plan to have some food so that you're not kind of exhausted with moving, you know, all the stuff around and you haven't thought about something to eat. Just kind of plan for it if you are going to be doing a project, but otherwise take some time and do something just for you. Okay, anyway, I'm going to keep it short. So anyway, as usual, live long and prosper. May the Danish hygge be with you, whether it's with a bonfire or without a bonfire, and I shall see you very soon. Okay, bye for now.